$1,000. And it's still going up because only 2 days ago it was at $1,050. And I remember it being $850, and that was only about a year ago. And, you know, so it's gaining ground, and I am kind of scared, honestly, because this means that the dollar is losing value. This is what I've been talking about the last 2 shows. You know, the dollar is losing value. And this isn't just against gold. This is against silver. This is against oil, food, anything. You know, so, but the only thing that stays, the only way it stays consistent is by not having all of the currencies devalue at the same time. And that's through inflation. This is all inflation. Okay, so this is because the Federal Reserve prints money. Okay, you know, that's it. It's a hidden tax. This is it. Anyway, so enough of that. But so my question is, why does Watt, the Congressman Watt, why does he want to gut the bill? I don't understand that. But you know, you can make speculations against that, or you know, talk about that as much as you want. I really don't know the answer. You know. Anyway, so on to other things that I was going to talk about. All right, so the last time we talked about the idea of secession. Texas, the governor of Texas at one point stated that, threatened that the state of Texas would secede from the Union because of the encroachments made by the federal government in general, such as the drug war, and all of the little things like healthcare. They're trying to basically take over, the state's territory on governing about health. Like it's their right to govern on that. So because of that, people, citizens should have the choice on which state to live, because each state would be different. If you moved from here to New Jersey, there's not a lot of difference between each of the states right now. But if government were like the federal government were a lot more small and weren't taking over everything, then there would be a lot more freedom of choice between for the citizen. And that's exactly what the whole problem is. And so on any of these subjects that I'm talking about tonight, I'd love to hear your opinions. Please call us at 978-777-2720. Yeah. So I'm also, okay, here's another drawing I want to make. All right. Oh, maybe not. I don't have an eraser. But, okay. So, basically, we were talking, Johnny and I, last time were talking about how libertarianism, where is it on the line? You have the Republicans, Democrats, what is it, progressivism versus conservatism, if I can say it correctly. Basically, the idea of having a political line is probably not completely right, at least in my opinion. But when I was taught about the political spectrum back in like 3rd grade or something, I was taught that politics and the economy are all in one big group. Like there's this chart. You have libertarianism at the top, and you have conservatism on the right, and progressivism on the left, and then you have authoritarianism on the bottom. And so basically there's this wide range of what I call libertarianism, or what is called libertarianism. You have libertarians at the top, and this is the idea of being free, what I've been talking about. And there's also economic freedom, and a lot of conservatives talk about that, and that's more right, or what people talk about being on the right. And socialism, progressivism, whatever you want to talk about, it's all on the left. So that's why libertarianism is more in the center, even though it's more like at the top of this big map thing. So, and then you have authoritarianism, which you never hear about anymore. It's always on the bottom. Authoritarianism, you're in total control, the government's in control of you, and personal liberty is just phased out. So, but the whole thing is, all of this is interconnected, and most people perceive that you can't implement any kind of socialist type of idea without being authoritarian at the same time. And that's why you see all of this happening at once. Because, the only way you can implement, I hate saying it, but it's true, socialist policy, the only way you can do that is by taking over and taking control of things. So, you take taxes out, and this is the economic side. You take the government takes the taxes out of individuals, and then spreads it out in programs, or like Social Security, Medicare, that kind of thing. And what we see right now is the healthcare debate and all this other stuff. So, but that's the authoritarian side at the same time, because, they're taking money, the government is taking money and spreading it out. That's it. And so when you don't want to say that all, like the healthcare is not socialist, it's not true. That is the definition of a socialist policy. So, but, okay, let me back up a little bit. My libertarian stance, the idea of, you are in control of whatever, anything, not the government. That's, it's also associated with anarchism. And, so anarchy is the lack of government. There is no government, period. And honestly, there are some people that do believe in anarchy, and I can't see there ever being an anarchy. It's just ridiculous. It's too far. People need to have some kind of entity, taking care of your rights. So, that's the idea of having at least judges, so you have the judicial branch, at least. But who's going to implement the policies that they go by? Well, you need a government. So, but the smaller the government, the better, because then you keep your money, that kind of thing. Anyway, but that's the total opposite of authoritarianism or totalitarianism, whatever you want to call it. There's also the idea of fascism, communism, and socialism in general, whatever. It's all authoritarian, because the only way you can implement it is by taking away people's rights. So, authoritarianism, the problem is, right now, I see it being implemented right now.